My name is Melissa Wenzel, and I work at the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. I'm our agency's Built Environment Sustainability Administrator. I am a board member of Build Reuse, and I've been on our conference planning team for about 4 years now. So some things get easier, some things get harder, but getting people to use an app is a bit of a challenge. So I'm hoping to help make it pretty easy of a process for you. It will be something that we use heavily, and it's something that we've invested a lot of our time into to make the conference a really good experience for you all. So what I'm going to cover today is how to download the app and how to view it as a desktop. I can't show the app view if I'm on a desktop, but the two are obviously pretty seamless. I'm going to go through the agenda so you can take a look at what sessions are where at what time, and have you experience an opportunity to add sessions to your own personal agenda, as well as the extracurricular events that we have for you as options. I'll then go in through the speaker and attendance information where you can find out that information. And then I'll go over the community and resource section, something that we've been adding a lot, at least for the resource sections. And finally, we're going to end with why St. Paul is awesome and what you want to possibly do when you're visiting here. So static pages first, PowerPoint slide, that's how it goes. I just wanted folks to know that on our Build Reuse conference page, and I'll be going to that in just a second, you can find information about registering. Chances are you've registered because that's how you probably got information about this particular meeting today. But there's also a section just next to registration about downloading the Whova app, giving you a brief look at what it looks like, and then a chance to watch a user guide video. We used Cvent last year, and it was clunky for us as planners to use. It was not very user-friendly from the attendance side of things, and it actually cost more. So we're paying less, and we're getting a lot more out of the Whova platform. And I've been adding content to it on a daily basis. A few of us have been. So it's a really good tool for our conference. And I'm excited when I add content, knowing that I'm adding information that'll be helpful for you. So here's a static page about what the desktop view looks like for me as somebody who's logged into the account. So if you're on a mobile device, you could preview your event on the mobile app. Every time I clicked on it, it was trying to get me to download a mobile app, and it wouldn't let me because I'm on the desktop. But there's a lot of great information on the left-hand side that gives you a chance to, at a glance, see what's going on. The agenda is right there, front and center. You can see every single attendee on who's registered for the conference. There's places where you can create a message board if you're interested in going for a run. You could post a message and see if others are interested, and so on. Within My Stuff is also an area where all of our resources are and where your personal agenda, once you create it, is available. So now I'm going to switch to the desktop. This will take me just a second to the web. And that's right, I had it queued up, ready to go. Can folks see the website, or do I need to share differently? Looks like it's sharing. Someone give me a thumbs up or a vocal yes that the website is being viewed. Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so this is my account. I've logged in. I've done things with the app, and I've done it both on my phone versus the desktop. I'm mainly using it on the desktop because I'm also updating the behind-the-scenes information. But obviously, using it on a desktop or mobile is your preference. So again, I did mention that you can see the entire agenda for all 3 days. There's a couple extracurricular activities before registration check-in occurs. They're mainly for those that are planning other related activities like grant management and working on environmental product declaration opportunities. They're open to anyone, so it's easy for us to organize internal meetings, but we want others to feel like they can join. So consider those extracurricular activities. And you would have to click Add to My Agenda to have it on your personalized agenda. These have been created more recently, so I have not added them, but I'm also helping out with conference planning, so I may not be able to attend. But I did select that I'm going to register and check in. So it's kind of an obvious, everybody's going to do it, but I wanted to be as holistic as possible for my own agenda's sake. We have an optional landmark center tour, and you can click on it to find a little bit more information about it. Staff from the Landmark Center will provide a tour of the building and answer all of your great questions. Tour 1 of 2, capacity 20. I see that 8 people have registered. We can't cap it. That's an extra charge we found out this morning, and it's a very expensive charge. So what I'll probably do is list the staff up to 20, the people, attendees, up to 20 who are registered to attend that particular tour. So right now there's only 8, so I'll add 8 people later today or tomorrow to this list. Okay, so I'm going to go back and take a look at the rest of Monday's agenda. Okay, there's welcome address and announcements. That is going to be located in our largest room outside of where we eat lunch and breakfast is the auditorium. And one thing I'm going to be adding also over time is having an image of what that particular room looks like. Helpful for the speakers, helpful for the attendees, and you'll get to see more of that a little bit later. So I'm definitely going to attend that. I'm attending the keynote speaker. I'm definitely attending lunch. I love to eat, so I'm going to do that. And now it's time for folks to figure out what sessions people want to attend when we have breakout sessions. So we have, I think, 3 consistently throughout every single session period of time that we have. So right now I chose to go to tackling the puzzle of commercial reuse in New York City. I've been actually professionally involved with a sliver of those benefits. So I'm really curious of those developments. I'm really curious to see how things go. And that's in the lower level in the auditorium, like I mentioned. And didn't get ready for today, but we do have rooms selected. There's only 2 other rooms that we have the sessions in. So we'll have the names of those rooms and an image of it. And we are working on a floor plan so you can at a glance see every single floor that we have activities on. So I'll be interested in attending this nice save, adaptive reuse, if I have extra time, but somebody else is moderating that particular session. So we have another set of opportunities at 2:45 p.m. Central. And of course, I'm going to attend the session that I'm speaking at. And I'm curious how many people are attending. We have 13 people who have indicated they will attend the session. So you can see all the speakers who will be there. You can see a description of the event. You can like it if you want. You can unlike it if you just didn't mean to do that, or you want to like something else. You can ask a question, you can chat, and you can do all these things ahead of time. So we want to build up connectivity and allow for networking to happen before the conference even starts. So if somebody's like, oh, great, I've always wanted to see Kathy present in person. Great, I'm glad Kathy's here. You could put that as a chat. And I will demonstrate that. I will be the first to say, I am glad for all of the speakers at this session. Yes, including myself. You can see that I didn't script myself at all for today, and that's hopefully okay. But there's a lot of really great ways that you can interact with one another throughout this app. Going through the rest of the day, there's more sessions. And then at 4 o'clock, sessions are done for the day, and we have a Builder Use members meeting that everyone is welcome to attend. We'll have a guest speaker, actually some interns working with us at Builder Use speaking, as well as discussing sort of next steps for our entire organization, and a lot more. Others are planning that, so we'll have more information about that as we know it. And then I've helped organize a happy hour. I do believe this is being sponsored by someone. I'm not sure what sponsorship actually means at this point, but about a half a mile away, we're going to be gathering at a historically adaptive reused building for fun, for drinks, for food, for getting to know one another. That was something that kind of happened a little bit more impromptu last year, and we had well over 100 people attend. So it was something we thought we would organize this time. Okay, so that's Monday. Tuesday, I'm definitely going to have breakfast because, again, I like to eat. We have a second Landmark Center tour, and 8 people are attending too. I'll have to make sure it's not the same 8 because we have such limited capacity. But that is great to see that people are signing up for that. And then we have our keynote speaker. That'll be in the lower level auditorium. Again, the largest room that we have for speaking. I've not been part of this expo, but there are people that'll be selling books, our keynote speakers primarily, and other activities that are a little sort of more interactive, more, small group one-on-one. You've been to a conference where there are people tabling. It'll be a little bit like that, just a small version of it, and for a brief period of time from 10 to 1:30 p.m. on Tuesday. And then the sessions start again, and you can add notes if you wanted to jot a note based on something that this is just something you would see. Like, I'm really interested, I really hope to see examples of a variety of different commercial buildings. And how do they get grant funding? Really curious. Again, this is only your notes. And this could be a place, if you'd like, for those that use a laptop or other device. If you want to take notes during the session, you can add them here too. Obviously, completely fine to have them in a different thing. I do use OneNote quite a bit, and paper notes, of course, is definitely still favored by many. But there is a section here where you can actually take notes per session. And if you have somebody that is going to a different session and you want them to get a question answered, you can send it to them and have them add it to their own notes. More sessions, lunch, of course. And then we go into the solutions session. I remember attending my very first Build Reuse conference in 2019. I've been in my position for about a month and a half at that point, so very, very, very new in this. And the solutions sessions were great because it was a completely interactive, by each of the sessions, opportunity to do a deep dive into a topic. And it is expected that people who attend participate in, sort of the questions and answers, and how do we really get towards a solution for some of these problems. Afterwards, there will be a report out in the main quartile where we're eating our meals to be able to hear. So everybody gets to hear what the sessions were and what the report outs are for each of those sessions. So we get to all benefit from one another's contributions. And then there's one more session left for the day. And kind of an add-on, we found that we received so many requests to present that we kind of had to carve out different pieces of time that we normally wouldn't have done. So we have kind of a standalone session by itself after our kind of string of 3 opportunities. After that, a number of us have worked together to provide a free opportunity for you to tour 3 places in Minneapolis that focus on a more sustainable built environment. And 28 people are attending so far, so that's great. People are using the app and adding to this. There are a lot of sessions, definitely are. And last year we did have a recap session of all of the different sessions by a lot of different people who attended, so that others could participate and folks that couldn't even attend could learn about it. I missed Paula's clarification. Thank you for clarifying, Paula, that the 2 Monday sessions, pre-conference sessions, one is by invitation, the other one's open to the public. We can get wordsmithing on the website for that. But back to the tour, we have transportation provided to take us to Minneapolis to visit 3 organizations. One is a workforce development deconstruction organization. One is a very traditional but still very awesome Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity. And then Wood from the Hood is an organization that takes urban lumber and makes furniture and cutting boards and height measurement boards and lots and lots and lots of other stuff. So you'll get to see that opportunity. And we're going to have a food truck there. You don't have to buy from them. I highly encourage you do. We did pick it based on the fact that they do have a lot of food that does meet a lot of dietary needs. So I think they're going to have a special lemonade for us too. So it's an alcoholic-free event. So if folks did want to go out, we will be back by 7:30. So there's still time for folks to go wherever they'd like to go to afterwards. But we had, I think on our tour last year, we had 150 or maybe even more people attend. The opportunity we provided as a tour last year. And because there was food and light drink provided, it was $50, and we still had 150 people show up. So that was amazing. So this is free. You can purchase food and drink from the food truck and then still have plenty of time to network afterwards. And so we have the timing down. We're going to try very hard to stick to this timing so that we can get back to the Landmark Center by 7:30 p.m. A lot of great work has gone into this. Shout out to another board member, Olivia Cashman from Hennepin County, for helping out with a lot of these details too. So that concludes the the second day of the conference. Now on to the third day, breakfast, of course. We have the mayor of St. Paul as our closing keynote speaker at 9 o'clock, and then sessions again start where you get to choose where you'd like to go. In some cases, we have just 2 options to choose from, and then back up to 3 options before lunch. So 2 more sessions, and the day ends at 4 o'clock. So it's a very busy schedule. We know that there's a lot of opportunities. I will also say that we have 230 people registered, and we're still 2.5 weeks out. So we'll give a lot of opportunities for a lot of people to attend a lot of different sessions. We're going to have a packed conference, and we're so excited for that. So thank you. Okay, so now that we've gone through the sessions, I'm going to show you where you can see all the speakers. It says speakers, click on it, you see the speakers. So it's pretty easy, pretty obvious. For folks that are presenting at more than one session, it will say which sessions they're at. So Deconstruction Dave Bennick, for example, is speaking at 2 different sessions. And you can click on it, it'll go to the spot in the agenda for that particular session. So many great people who are speaking are obviously attending, and vice versa, the conference, but it is a really great, rich variety of people speaking from all across North America. Attendees. I haven't fully figured out the algorithm for recommended, and there's more than 18 people who are connected to St. Paul. So this is one area that's, yeah, maybe a little room for improvement. But, you know, in terms of seeing all of the attendees alphabetically by last name, you start to see just how many are from your area, and it keeps going on and on. And you can search. So if I were to search by Minnesota, I get at least 4 pages worth of contacts. So you can do that for your state, for your city, for your organization. And it does label whether or not they're a speaker or an organizer or an attendee. Won't have any sort of particular tag for it. So a lot of great opportunities to learn more about people, and you can say hi to them ahead of time. If you've heard of somebody and you've not had a chance to introduce yourself, you can do so before the conference so that it has a record of that connection, and that might remind you to connect with somebody in person. Community is kind of organically being driven. We will have announcements. There's only one announcement we've made. 2 of them are tests, so you wouldn't see these if you were not viewing my screen. But we did send out a message for speakers who had not yet registered. So that's what that's all about. We will definitely utilize this section as we get closer to the conference, and very definitely during the conference. So be sure to, if you, it'll show that you have a message on red here. And there's a couple other places like Ask Organizers Anything. How can we upload slides? And it looks like this morning Paula was able to answer that. We are still working on it, one detail at a time, right? So if people wanted to, like I said, get together to organize a run in the morning or something, you can create a new topic by clicking new. Yeah, so a lot of great opportunities to network ahead of time. You know, if folks are wanting to find out more about adaptive reuse of commercial buildings, you could post a question here and see how many other people are connected to that industry. The Messages app, if somebody private messages you, you would get it. Right now, I'm basically just getting messages from the Whova team to make sure that we're doing the right things, or that we have the right tools to be successful. I did get a question back in June it's just a comment from somebody that I have networked with quite a bit and know quite a bit. So, you know, I haven't met her in person, I don't believe, so I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, I'm going to jump down to resources. I've populated quite a bit of things within the logistics tab. So I'm trying to think, if I've never been to a Builder Use conference or I've never been to St. Paul, what would I want to know? And so we have the address of the place, the building that we're having the conference at. We will have floor maps. We're still working on getting copies of that. And I put information about how to get to the conference from, or to the hotels that are near the conference by local bus, by Amtrak, what are the hotels nearby. Something I'll be adding content to is meals. We wanted to make sure that people knew what options, what food is going to be available at each meal. And we got some confirmation details not long ago, about half an hour ago. So I'll be adding it to it. Is Whova available as a desktop link for participants, or can we only use the app? Both is available. So I've been primarily using it on the desktop. I will switch to the cell phone app as the conference goes on. I'm not going to necessarily bring my laptop with, or maybe I don't want to use it much because my battery dies pretty quickly. So I'll switch to my cell phone's app instead, which I do have downloaded. So, maybe we can check on that as we get to the Q&A. I'm kind of curious as to what section or what link you have that's showing you that. So we'll tackle that, Patty. Thank you so much for bringing it in, bringing up the issue. So again, this page is going to be added to it as we have more information, which we do now. So stay tuned. We're also adding this information, the meal information, straight on the Builder Use Conference website. So more information about the tour. Actually, I have more information on the event, so I might actually delete it from here or just copy paste the content so you can tell we're still a work in progress. We have, again, information about a happy hour. Again, we have it built into the agenda, not necessarily here. I created these agenda topics about, or these particular info topics about a month and change ago. So we have 3 quiet rooms. We knew, whether it was us as attendees or conference planners, that people would want a place to go, and that's not what I meant to have happen. But we have 3 rooms that allow people to go up there, and it'll be communal space, so as quiet as people are in those rooms. 2 on the 4th floor and a section of the 5th floor. One of our sponsors is Rethos, a historic preservation nonprofit, and they're opening their doors to us. Each room has separate Wi-Fi, so we already have the usernames and passwords for each room. So we'll probably post them in the rooms too, and if not, then you have this list here. So again, we're trying to think, if we were going to this conference and didn't know anything about the building or things like that, what can we provide for folks? And if there are things that you think you believe others would want to know about, and it's not anywhere that I've demonstrated, let us know. This is really your conference, our conference. So please take a chance, please drop us a line and let me know, let others know that, you think this information would be helpful if we shared this through the app. So that is the majority of what I wanted to cover. Again, we'll be adding things to logistics. My stuff, I can see just my agenda, so I don't have to go to the main agenda and be like, oh, did I add this or not? So once I finalize my agenda, then I'll probably just go here and take a look. I might go back to the other one too, the full agenda, in case I change my mind. So again, at a glance, we can see where some of these sessions are. And by main level, it's at street level. Lower level is 1 flight down, basement, or I'm not sure how it is measured in the elevator. And speaking of that, we will have signs on where the stairs are, where elevators are, where drinking fountains are, and that kind of logistics. So we're in the final set of details that we're working on at this time. Okay, are there questions, with the exception of Patty, regarding the app? Feel free to take yourself out, mute, or put it in the agenda. So this is what I think is the link where people should download the app. Patty, are you still getting, did you?
I have the app on my phone. I just like to do stuff on my desktop. That's why I was trying to log in my desktop.
Oh, yeah, so you'll have a username and password from the app download, and um, you know, I stay signed in, but I'm also an organizer. I'm trying to pretend as if I haven't logged in, how it would work. Don't want organizer to log in. Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I see your point. And anyone who might know the answer is welcome to speak up. I'll get back to you separately. This is obviously something that others are going to have questions on, so I'm glad that this is being brought up now. I've had an attendee login section, so I'm just not sure why that's not front and center.
Well, thanks for checking into it. No problem if it doesn't work out.
Absolutely. Okay, looks like there's some IT issues going on for Margot, or had not issues necessarily. I think it's possible to switch. Yeah, Margot, let's connect offline because you know how to find me. But yeah, that's a really good point. And because I stay logged in as the conference attendee organizer, instead of attendee, that's where I realize you're right, that is kind of a problem. Let me sign out. I will definitely share that, not only in the logistics section of the app so that you'll have it, you can view it as a cell phone user, but also I'll include it in an upcoming message. So we're sending out messages via our newsletter and through the app itself for specific information. So that'll be one that I'll research, find out. I'm sure it's probably something simple. And then obviously I'll share it with you directly, Patty, but then also to the larger audience.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions at this point? Great. Well, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint presentation to talk about St. Paul and other cool stuff around here. Okay. As somebody who lives in St. Paul and have done so for 18 years and who has worked in St. Paul for 22 years, 23 years, it was hard for me to figure out what should I boil this down to? What are some teasers, some bits of information that I can share with folks? So we do have on the logistics page, we have a map of downtown St. Paul. It's about a year change old, so some restaurants have started, others have quit, but it is fairly up to date for folks to see what's around downtown St. Paul. And so I wanted to highlight a couple things, particularly if folks are staying through the weekend, either the weekend before or the weekend after. We have what I consider the best farmers market in Minnesota because 100% of the products sold are local, within 50 miles, grown or created baked goods, things like that. So Minneapolis has farmers markets and there's a lot of local food, but they allow non-local. So you'll see roses sold there where you'll see fresh cut local flowers or greenhouse grown flowers. So we have Candyland within walking distance. We have 3 or 4 of them in Minnesota. It's a pretty popular, well-known candy store for those of us in Minnesota. A restaurant that I personally like, it's probably a Lyft or a e-bike ride away, Caribou Grocery and Deli. So they make really, really great food from, I believe it's East Africa. Karibu means welcome in Swahili. So I really enjoy eating food there. We have some really great transit opportunities as well. So we have the largest electric car sharing system that is a nonprofit or city, multi-city run in the United States. So it kicked off a couple of years ago, and it's a great opportunity. You do have to join and have to, pay for per mile and per charge and things like that. But it is a great opportunity where if you did want to go away for an afternoon, say Sunday, if you get here the day before the conference, and just want to kind of check out things without having to reserve a car, this is a good way to do that. So you're charged either by the minute or the mile, whichever makes the most financial sense. So if you're coming up to an hour, then you'll get an hourly rate. The per minute rate, I think, is more expensive. We recently launched a couple different lines of transit through our Metro Transit bus system, and I do have information on the logistics portion of the app on transit. And we have both Lime and Spin scooters and bike rental opportunities. So we have a happy hour that's a little over half a mile away from the Landmark Center. So there's going to be tons and tons of scooters and bikes that you can rent if you'd rather scoot or bike down to that particular place. Or if you want to go after the conference and go bike along the river, you can rent a bike for that too. I like to show off my bike from time to time, and this is the state capitol, which is also in St. Paul. I didn't get a chance to look up when the Saints games are, but we have our minor league play within walking distance of the Landmark Center. So I was actually looking into getting a group ticket opportunity for us, but they were not playing at the time that would work out. I think they have a midday Tuesday game versus an after work game or after the conference game. So, but for folks that are here in advance or stay through the weekend, it's so much fun. It's very community-based and very fun. There's little fun activities where people in the audience are competing to move their head around a bat and try to walk around after to do something to win a very small prize. So very, very fun. I love it. And again, it is in downtown St. Paul. One of my favorite gems is the Como Zoo and Conservatory. And I don't have kids, so I don't go to the zoo portion a lot. It is donation-based, so we say it's the largest zoo that has no charge anywhere in the nation. I'm not sure if I'm 100% correct on that, but it is a voluntary donation, so all are welcome. And we have a Japanese garden, and we have different wings, and the building is well over 100 years old. Again, you would probably need an e-bike or a lift, but we have a section of St. Paul that is within the Chroma Zone area. It's a lot of industrial warehouse sort of space with agreements that, formal agreements that people can paint the outside of that building. And so there's a self-guided tour. I think you can get a list and a map on the website and find out more information about the artist. But it is a really cool opportunity that I don't think a lot of people in St. Paul know about. So I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to that. Breweries are obviously popular for a lot of folks. The pictures you see here are, it's just one of the coolest breweries for patios that I've ever been to ever, St. Paul Brewing. So it is a bit of a distance away. Again, bike or lift or, rent a scooter or something like that. I did list the 3 breweries that are in downtown St. Paul. I consider them within walking distance. And it's fairly flat in this part of the city. So about a mile away is not, for those that can walk that far, it's not a bad walk. I think we have an informal gathering that may be attending Waldman on Sunday night, the night before the conference starts. So it is a historic building and has roots in German beer and German food when people came over here from Germany. And there's a bunch of other breweries. I mentioned Waldman at this point, so wanted to include a photo. And these are, again, kind of a bike ride away or a lift or scooter sort of thing. Bing Brewing actually is brewing their beer inside of an old grain elevator. And I believe their beer is 100% organic. Summit is a very, very standard, been around forever before craft brews are really getting going and good beer. So, and I just listed a couple other ones that I enjoy going to. again, trying to limit how much I share versus all of the opportunities that exist, particularly in the summertime, was a challenge for me. So I wanted to highlight things like the St. Paul Riverboat cruises. You can do like a history lesson tour for, an hour and a half and pretty economical. You can also do a dinner cruise. I haven't done that yet. I keep meaning to. We have the History Center. We have the Science Museum. Near the Como Zoo Conservatory, we have Como Lake, where you can rent a swan and other paddle related activities. So I just wanted to highlight a few things that you can do in the system. We have kayak sharing. So we're big on tool sharing, kayak sharing, car sharing. So why not have a kayak sharing system too? So we'll provide links and information in our next newsletter about these opportunities. And there's also within the Landmark Center 2 galleries that are opening starting on Wednesdays. So for those that are maybe leaving before Wednesday, you might not get a chance to see it, but on Wednesday and throughout the week and weekend, people can attend the American Association of Woodturners Gallery of Wood and the Schubert Club Music Gallery. Both are really cool. They're located right next to each other on the second floor. So you exit one, you can go straight into the other, and both are really awesome to check out. That's my formal presentation. That's what I wanted to cover. If there are others in Minnesota that want to pop in and say what their favorite thing to do that's not on the list that I suggested, please feel free to take yourself off mute and mention what you like to do in the Twin Cities. Or if you visited, you can say something too if you've been here too. How about you, Josh? What do you like to do around here in Minnesota? I saw you took yourself off mute, but I'm not hearing anything from you. How about you, Ellie? Anything you enjoy doing that's not on this list, particularly if it's in St. Paul?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yep, I can, thanks.
Okay, so this isn't really in St. Paul, but it's just like right over the border of Minneapolis. But if you take the green line to Ventura Village, there's this place called Malcolm Yards there. It's like a food hub and bar, and it's so much fun. They have so many good options there.
That's a really good point. We were trying to see if maybe one of our tours could have been there, and we ran out of space really on the agenda to do anything else. So that was definitely a top consideration, and things we can still mention. So we can add these, or people can add them into the Whova app.
Yeah.
And there's a vote up for Minneapolis Institute of Art. That is amazing. And that's free, right? Yep, it's one of the best free museums that Josh has been to. So I will definitely harvest these ideas and throw them into the Whova app. So I'll encourage other Minnesotans to do the same, or those that know the Twin Cities. So. Oh, great. Were there any questions that you had coming into this that we didn't answer today? Are there things that people are excited about for the conference?
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Carol.
Hi. Thank you so much for your presentation today. Well done. In the past, this has been available. The conference was available at some point online. And I know this is going to be recorded, but I just wondered if there's any access online available intermittently throughout it, or a way to touch in, because that physical presence is not something that I'm able to manage right now.
That's fair. We did discuss at length about being able to do that. And I think we're just too small of an organization to be able to handle hybrid in person and online. And so we had to make the hard decision that we'll just have it in person. We are possibly talking about having each session recorded. We're still a little TBD on that. And see if there's like a low cost option people could pay to watch recordings, whether we charge per recording or for the whole package. So we haven't had a chance to like finalize that decision yet, but we are cognizant of how many people would like to attend and couldn't attend in person. So
Right.
D on that.
Well, it is the preeminent conference.
It is. It is. And we are very proud of what we've put together. And I know so many people who've told me that they can't go that wanted to. So I know that you're not alone.
Thank you,
So
Melissa.
circle back.
Will
I
do.
will make a mental note. There's AI companionship with these, so it'll probably give me that as a summary note. So thank you for bringing that up.
I'm actually going to be in Memphis during the conference.
Cool.
So I'll be close, but not close enough.
Yeah, right. Yep, for sure, for sure.
But thank you so much. Appreciate your efforts, and I know it's going to be wonderful. I'll sign off.
Okay, thank you. We have a very strong reuse community, and Reuse Minnesota, among other organizations, helped get the word out here in Minnesota. So we have 83 people as of yesterday registered who are in Minnesota attending, and that just blows me away. So we're hoping to have so much interconnectivity with those inside and outside of Minnesota so people can learn and benefit from one another. Ellie's right. We have so many great parks. There's 3 or 4 different parks downtown St. Paul alone. So that's kind of great. And yes, the Landmark Center itself is a beautiful historic, adaptive reuse, historic preservation example. So, and a lot of the buildings that are around it are also adaptively reused or historically preserved. So us conference planners kind of felt like if we couldn't have it here at the Landmark Center, then anyway, we would have made it work somewhere else. But we are so grateful for those that helped us be able to secure this entire building. Any last comments before we? I see a yes for Lily. I'm not sure what yes was. Like maybe it was when I was asking if people are excited for the conference. Well, great. I'm going to put my email address in chat. Chances are you've gotten an email from me already. And so then if you do have follow-up questions, you're welcome to contact me. I'll share the questions with the group as needed, the conference planning team as needed. Thanks also for those that are viewing this after this recording is over. We are really grateful that you're interested in attending and learning more about the Whova app. And we'll see you all next month. Thank you. Bye from Minnesota.
Yeah, thanks for your time today, Melissa.
You're welcome. Thanks, Ellie.